It's great to see you all here for this performance of 99 Sleepless Nights of painting Basquiat. My name is Itty and I'm really excited to be here with you to watch the very first performance for most of you of this play, which is going to be exploring the emotional terrain of creativity, black artistry, a little bit of mental health, maybe some social issues as well, and the themes of obsession as well. So before we begin, I want to take a moment to give a heartfelt shout out to the supporters and partners of this play who have helped to bring it to life. You've been speaking to some of them already. Quickly, there is Black Men Consortium just right here. So they provide safe spaces for black men to work alongside other men to help improve health and well-being, and participants of the Black Men Consortium, they explore positive and meaningful interactions and they discuss issues that matter to them. Very important for black men. Next up, we've got Filmmaking Planner right there. So Filmmaking Planner, they are founded by the award-winning Aisha Scott right there. Hi Aisha. And what they do is that they offer custom planning tools and stationery for those of you who like to plan every detail and see your vision come to life, and you start it with by writing and planning. It's actually all born from Aisha's journey of commitments to inclusivity in the film industry. So the company aims to break down barriers and support storytellers and creatives in bringing their visions to life. So if you're creative of yourself, of your own, make sure you speak to Aisha before we head up and even afterwards as well. Then we've also got Love, Music, Hate, Racism in the corner right there. And that's Chioma. So Love, Music, Hate, Racism is a grassroots anti-racist campaign that brings people together through music. They have local groups across the country and they put on events quite regularly, and they help to spread a message of unity and anti-racism. So, right now with the rising threat of reform and just general shifts to the right, it is more important than ever for us to use music to share and spread unity among our society. All right, we've also got Happening. It's happening here. Happening. Okay, Happening aren't here. I don't see them here yet, but they actually they provide a digital experience, a new kind of digital experience to live events. So a lot of us have our phones. We use TikTok, we use Snapchat, we use all these things sometimes to watch what's going on in other parts of the world, and that's what you could do with Happening. So they would actually be live streaming this event today, and people who have downloaded the app can watch it straight from their phones from different angles, for those of you who actually have Happening on your phones as well. So thank you very much once again to all the supporters of this event. And thank you to every single one of you as well for supporting this independent storytelling. You're going to hear some more from 19 Productions later, but as you may know, this is their very first play, so it's really incredible to have this many people show up to support. Now, if you haven't already, make sure you get a drink at the bar, get a snack or whatever, and I believe that means we are good to go as well. Are we good to go upstairs? Yeah? Fabulous. So you can all start making your way upstairs as well. Thank you very much. See you after the play. All right, so people are about to go in, and I'm really excited for this play. Something that brings out stories that are important to our own community. Being black, being an artist, maybe being a little bit obsessed with your creativity as well. I love all these themes, and I'm really excited to see how it's going to play out. I'm really excited actually. I've never actually done a play like But of course, I had to come dressed. Just this is it. It's going to be quite big. As you can see, they're still getting the stage ready and everything, but I'm already prepared. You know my lines, what I'm going to say, what I'm going to do. I'm really excited. So, thank you. Another round of applause, please. So now I'm really excited for us to get into the next 30 minutes. These 30 minutes, we're going to use it for a Q&A, just to explore the production of this play, what it was like drawing from inspiration from the world-famous artist Basquiat. We may have some time for questions, depending on how things run. So hold your reflections. If we don't, there will definitely be some time afterwards. So, without further ado, they're setting up the chairs. Let's hear it for the creative minds behind this play, behind this work. First and foremostly, writer and producer, Estelle Bahia. And next up, we've got the director and dramaturg, Laura Schreiber. And of course, the directors, the writers, the producers, they are very important. But this work can't come to life without the actors themselves. Please, a round of applause for Peter Finn and Anna Dershowitz. Perfect works. Can you hear me? Oh, excellent. Fantastic. Okay, how's everyone doing? Yeah? Okay, fantastic. So it's really great to be up here with you. I'm sure the audience are really looking forward to hearing from you what it took to bring this work to life. I'm going to start with you, Estelle. Now, this is your debut production. Congratulations to you, by the way. This is actually a very So what were your biggest challenges in bringing this piece of work to life?
Hi everybody. I think for me, to be honest, was to stick to the truth when it comes to, first of all, Basquiat's legacy. It was really difficult because online there's a lot of story about him, his addiction to drugs, and I wanted people to also see his human side. And the artist that he was actually, the fact that he inspired everyone, especially black people, and what we can actually gain from it on the positive side. And it took me a lot to get some positive feedback and positive information about him. And I would say, secondly, I guess for me was to find people to collaborate with on my writing, but also on the cast, and to believe in the story. Because these days, it's really difficult to write about mental illness. People rather talk about, I don't know, fame or not. You know, so these conversations were very difficult to have. So I think that's what my biggest challenges were.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
mean, you're right. Some of these, the themes that ran through this play, some of them, even in 2025, are still quite hard to talk about. So thank you for bringing this bold production to life. So this next question is for you, Lara. This script explores mental health and mental deterioration in a really intense way. So as the director, how did you go about trying to translate, you know, that experience on this stage?
Yeah. As the title of the show says, 99 Sleepless Days of Painting Basquiat, we are showing an artist here who's gone to his very limits, so he hasn't slept. And you know, I think when you want to show something about mental illness, or if you want to show something about drugs, you need to really get into it and really work on that. And we actually did not want to show drugs in this show, right? So we really just wanted to show this really ambitious person who is grieving and therefore has not slept, which for me personally, so this is random, yeah. But since I wasn't prepared for this, and I have a sleeping disorder, so I can really relate to people who have not slept, and there are certain things that can happen when you're really sleep deprived, that are possibly quite close to symptoms of mental illness as well. So we're kind of leaving it open. Is he a person who's just really struck with grief and who hasn't slept for a very long time and is therefore experiencing falling into sleep while doing something, having visions, hearing the voice of his father, because also where is the line between, where's the border between mental illness and physical illness or grief or sadness? They are actually it all happens in the human brain, right? So yeah, I guess so that was my access to it.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Please, round of applause, actually. Thank you very, very much. So actually, yes, David knew the questions coming beforehand. So what you're getting are their real reactions to my questions. Really, really thank you for that, actually. You know what? When I was watching the play, one of the things that came to my mind, I was saying to myself, this is the messiest set I've ever seen. Do you know what I mean? Like, sheets everywhere, paintings everywhere, but that is precisely the point. Obviously, that's all intentional, and that really reflects, I guess, the mental state or the state of which Boris was in, of not having slept all that time and being in such an intense headspace. So, you know, I think it was very well depicted, actually, so kudos to you, well done for that. Okay, so this next question, I'm going to be going over to you, Peter. Is your mic working over there? Is your mic working? Do you want to say something?
I think so.
All right, good. If it's not, we can hand it over, don't worry. Okay, so, Boris, your character was an original one, but heavily inspired by Jean-Michel Basquiat. So, did you do any kind of research? If you did, what kind of research or preparation did you do to embody this creative artist?
Yeah, I worked a lot with the director, Laura, and I got pictures of the artist and kept it in my room, and put some paintings in my room as well so I could start feeling like an artist. I'm not a very rowdy person, I don't like a mess, so it was very hard for me. But I kind of put myself in that mental state and tried to see how it would feel like to not sleep, and I couldn't not do it for 98 days. I did it for one day, that was enough for me. And I found myself looking up videos of Basquiat, and like Laura would send me videos, Estelle would send me videos, Estelle was constantly sending me videos of Basquiat. I got to know Basquiat, like, okay, read his emotions, understand why he was doing certain things, or speaking very like resigned and not really trying to say everything that was in his mind. Obviously it was a different time, and there was a lot of, let's say, racism during that time, so he went through a lot of, he was very restricted in a lot of ways. So when I had to actually play Basquiat, I could follow his mannerisms and understand, okay, I think this is why he's behaving that way. And yeah, it was fun working, because this was also my first experience as a theatre actor. So it was fun working with the entire team.
Wow.
This is why I love unscripted Q&As, because you get the real, like, you know, this is your first time of being a theatre actor. That's amazing, actually. That's fantastic. We might come back to that in a bit. So this next question is for Anna, the lovely character, Nina. Oh gosh, I think so many people could probably relate to that character, actually. It was a crucial one, trying to pull Boris back to reality. How did you prepare for that, you know, depiction of such an emotional burden? And you know, I feel like we could see it all on your face, like when you were wailing and lamenting, and you know, just trying to pour out your heart to this to Boris. How did you prepare for that?
I think many of us know someone that could be our version of Boris. I think there's often these people, or you see someone going through a tough period in their life, and all you want is to pull them out and really actually, like, not just help them, but actually show them how much easier things would actually be if they just either took care of themselves or just got out of that spiral in their head. So I do think there's a lot of like personal sort of experience, personal memories in there. But I also think that our interpretation of Nina has changed a lot over the process of this show, the production, us putting this on. I think it started out much more, she used to be much more feminine, and I think in the original version that we had, the costume included a dress, and then it became more and more, but the whole play became more and more raw and more messy, a bit more punky, as I think Laura would say. And yeah, I think there were more and more elements of that sort of rawness that we implemented, really.
Nice.
It's very interesting to hear how the character evolved, actually, because I think the final version that we've seen actually fits very, very well into this world that we've seen on screen. So I'm going to go back to you, Estelle. This play touches on personal and really layered subjects like mental illness, racial injustice, artistic obsession. Do you have any personal experiences or cultural observations that you brought out in the story?
Yes, I think for me it was post-COVID. As a black artist, I mean as an artist as well, I have a lot of friends that actually were not able to sustain themselves with work, and especially young people. And I thought it was really sad and unfair, because we are the ones that need to be out there. And everyone needs it, but us a bit more. And so I've just started writing based on that, and on that injustice, and saying why we young people can have the same opportunity, like, for example, my mother or my father back in the day. Why do I have to struggle 20 times more? And then I dig a bit more, and I found out that actually more certain communities that are actually struggling even more than others. And I was like, oh, again, another thing. So yeah, so, and I started just from there, really. Personally, I would just say it's because as an artist, I feel like finding your way is really difficult, first of all, and then getting those opportunities is difficult again. But then when you have them and then now they disappear, and then people that need to support you don't give you the opportunity again, and I think all that just messed up my brain. And because I admire Basquiat for paving the way for himself and not taking any no's, because he has to kind of like, I'm not sure if people are aware of Basquiat. Do you guys know who is Basquiat, by the way? Yes, because we need to start from there, right? I was not aware who Basquiat was. I literally just like found him online randomly, and because I was looking for like example of people that look like me, like my color of skin and like my struggle, and I just look up at Basquiat because yes, there was like a random documentary about him and his hair, blah blah. I was like, I need to know a bit more. This guy started from nothing, so okay, obviously his family has given him some background, but then he just decided to go for it. He went to school, people said, oh no, you're not good. He dropped out of school, and then he started doing his own things with his friend, started getting attention for that, started getting more popularity with his friends, started painting. Nobody ever told him that he could be good at it. So he has to trust himself, struggle, sleep at friends' houses, not having enough money, and things like that, until he managed to secure his first ever commissions. But it took him years, struggling in New York like that, sleeping with women, sorry for sensitive souls, but like sleeping with women, sleeping with like anyone that actually can help him. And I think if he actually didn't believe in himself, we would not have anything like even display. So yes, for me, it comes from there, from his experience, because I think it's very powerful, impactful. It says a lot to us young people. I'm saying that because I'm Gen Z millennial, but everyone actually. It says a very important message. It's like, you need to go for what you like in life. Go for it. If it's art, do art. And it might take you one try, second, third, but then you're going to meet people along the way. They're going to like you, dislike you, help you, but that's the most important things. And what I think Basquiat would have loved to say to young people as well is like, drugs is not the way. Because I think that people always say, oh, Basquiat did drugs. No. What he did was painting. 99% of his time was about painting. Even if when he was with Warhol. Sorry for again for people. But yes. So hard work and dedication can be found in young people, and that's important. And you do not need to take drugs to make it, but you still need to follow your passions, and you still need to stick to it, because you're going to achieve something great. Something that people will look up to maybe like 20 years later and say, oh, yeah, that's really cool actually.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know what we found, or what I certainly found through the lockdown, was that when the world stops, we all turn to art. We need artists. We need the musicians. We need the people who paint, who draw, who sing, who whatever. We need artists and art. So yeah, I can really understand why the lockdown, I can see how it brought that out of you. So excellent. So next question, in rotation, of course, is for Laura. How did your collaboration with Estelle shape the tone of this production? Like, how did you guys work together to bring this to life?
And how did you meet?
How did you meet is a funny question, because like every time that we like every person who worked in this show, and we were always like, when we met each other, oh, but how do you know Estelle? How did you know Estelle? And it's incredible how Estelle has this talent to get people together, which, yeah, none of us knew each other before. So that's really one of the cool things about collaborating on something together. You're just being thrown into a completely new group of creative, amazing, talented people. So thank you for that, Estelle. And yeah, it was. It all started with the script, basically, and there were several versions of the script, and it's a while to figure out which the version is that we actually want to work with, that works for all of us. And yeah, then we just started to rehearse, basically.
Okay. I guess that's typically how. I mean, I guess that's typically how it goes. So it all starts with the scripts, right? And then I guess who is the main person that kind of brings out that vision of what it's actually going to be like? Is it in the writing? Is it in the directing? How is it? Is it a bit of both?
Yeah, definitely a bit of both. You have the script, basically the words, the dialogues, and in the rehearsals, the actor and the actors and the director develop the actions, basically, the movement, how we grasp those words, what we make of them, putting it, directing and acting is putting words that are written on a page, you're bringing them to life on a stage.
Thank you. Okay, so gonna go over to Peter. Actually, let's start with Anna this time. Okay, so in a play that's so centered on a man's unraveling, one particular person's unraveling, how did you ensure that Nina's presence remained powerful and emotionally resonant? I mean, I know you said the character kind of evolved a couple of times, or a couple of different versions of Nina, where she started off a lot more feminine, and I guess it became more powerful, I guess. So with such another powerful character, in fact the main actor, I guess, how did you ensure that your own character remained powerful on this stage?
As Laura said, we had plenty of versions of this script and it did evolve over time, and Nina evolved a lot over time. I think the biggest thing for me to recognize was that there is a power in trying to get someone out of this state. There's a power in listening, there's a power in giving attention to what the other person is going through, and I think many people can relate to this feeling of really having the need to get someone out of a bad place that they're in, and I do think that holds a sense of power as well. And I do think traditionally a lot of women often find themselves in a position where they really just want to get someone out of a bad place, really.
Thank you. Okay. And so the last question. Now, this character, this play, this piece of work, it really demanded a lot of portraying emotional vulnerability and intensity, and even sometimes you had to be physically explosive on the stage, like kicking things and all that. Is there a process for trying to maintain, how are you able to be so energetic, and kinetic is not the word, it's not kinetic energy, but when you're so out there all over on the stage, right, but you're still in your mind that I'm an actor and I'm on this stage, how do you, especially this being your first time, what's that process like? Like, what goes through your mind? If anything.
Well, listening to the director for one. Because I can't see myself. She's the only one who can see what we're doing and tell us if, the audience would like it or if they wouldn't like it. And there are times where I would be like, oh, but his father is dead, I want to feel so sad, I feel so sad. And she's like, no whining, we've had enough whining, let's go, let's give them more energy. And then she brings up some new idea, and it's like, stand on the chair, stand on the table. And we do all of these new things that she suggests, and I'm like, okay, well, I can't see myself, so I can't direct myself, so I'll have to learn to trust the director, and really it's about trusting the director.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, right, people, thank you so much once again to this wonderful panel, Estelle, Laura, Anna, and Peter. Thank you as well for being quite an engaged audience. I see there is one question, and I feel like we've just hit it. Is it a question? Is it a question? Is it a comment?
No, I just want to say that I provided the art that you guys did.
Ooh. Congrats. Please tell us your name. What's your name?
Taismina. Tais.
Taismina. All right, everyone. Another round of applause, Taismina. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think it takes a lot to bring a play to life. Yeah, it really, really does. So yeah, fantastic. You know what? This conversation doesn't end here. It doesn't have to end here. If you're bursting with questions, this conversation can continue downstairs. And also, just a couple of stops away at the Charlotte Pub. That's where the after party, networking, mingling is going to be over near Southwark Station. So that's your chance to share more of your thoughts, talk to the actors, talk to the director, talk to the producer and writer, get to understand a little bit more and maybe, network. I'm sure a lot of your artists here, there might be an opportunity for you to connect and do some stuff. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your evening and thank you once again for coming to watch 99 Nights of Itty Bawa. Good night, everyone. And it's a wrap, people. This has been 99 sleepless nights of painting Basquiat. You know what? I'm so happy that I was invited to present at this event because, first of all, it's my first theatre. But second of all, it was exploring themes that I felt were really important, especially in this day and age, for a lot of young people trying to find themselves, trying to figure out who they are, and trying to stay authentic. Authenticity is key, people. That was the main theme of the moral, actually, of the play. So thank you very much to the producer, to the writer, to the directors, and of course the actors for bringing this to life. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure of mine. And this is Itty Bawa, the People's Queen, signing out. Yes, this is us at the end of the night. Oni, do you want to say anything?
Hi, my name is Oni, Art by Oni, and this is, like I said, one of my canvases. Her name is Itty, and today she finally allowed me to do my thing on her. You should have seen her on stage. She looked completely amazing. The colors made her skin pop. She just, I think the highlight of the night for me was when someone actually walked up to you and you look so beautiful. You must be someone important.
Somebody actually said that.
That blew my mind.
Somebody actually said that. She really said that.
So amazing to see. It was a wonderful night, and thank you all. And you're gonna see so much more of us. So stay tuned, guys.
Thank you, and thank you to Art by Oni. Mwah! Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.